Okay, in minimal pairs therapy, the reason why we start with familiarisation is because we want to make sure that the child understands what the words mean, because we're going to be asking them to say these and contrast them so that they can make them sound different and use different sounds because they mean different things. So we would say here, winter is cold, and we'd point at the picture, and usually I get them to, prove that they understand the meaning. I might say, what else do you know is cold? They could say a freezer. And then we go over here and I go, this is gold. Pirates like to find gold. Sometimes people wear jewellery that's made of gold. Do you know anyone who's got gold jewellery or who wears gold? And they might say, yeah, Dad has a necklace or Mum has a ring. And you go, yeah, great. The discrimination is making sure that they can hear the difference, because they are saying gold when they mean cold, and they're also saying gold for gold. So we want to make sure they can hear. So I think it's really important to remember that when a child, and this example is voicing, when a child says, oh, I'm gold, they mean I'm cold. And it's like they are not hearing, and I'm doing inverted commas here, like hearing. It's like they're not hearing that they're actually saying this. So if they were on the phone talking to Grandpa and they say, Grandpa, I'm gold, Grandpa is going to be really confused because he's thinking, you're gold, like your skin's gold, you painted yourself gold. So because the child is not changing the sound, by not changing that sound and knowing when to put the k sound on and knowing when to put g, they are actually changing the meaning of the word. And we want to make sure that even though that they can't hear it within themselves, they can hear it in us. So that's why we make sure we alternate and say, point to cold, gold, gold. And most importantly, if a child can't hear the difference, so if they've got like a 50% accuracy of pointing to the right word that you're saying, if they can't hear the difference, how are we going to expect them to say them differently in minimal pairs therapy? So this is why step 1, which is making sure they understand what the words mean, and step 2, making sure they can auditory discriminate, hear the difference between them, is so important for the success of your minimal pairs therapy, because our minimal pairs therapy is making the child contrast and say these differently. They are going to say cold, gold, gold, cold. So if they can't hear the difference, if they don't understand the meaning, then our cues and our feedback won't make sense to the child, and minimal pairs therapy won't click. So that's why I teach rules, light, quiet, and noisy sounds, so that I introduce and we categorize the concept of these sounds first, and then we go into the therapy.